48 Laws of Power. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. One of the cleverest strategies in power is to hide your intelligence. If people think you are smarter than them, they feel threatened. But if you appear slightly weaker or less intelligent, they relax, open up, and reveal more than they should. By pretending to be less capable, you gain space to maneuver without suspicion. Many con artists, negotiators, and even leaders have used this trick. They play the fool, letting others underestimate them. Meanwhile, they quietly gather information, watch carefully, and strike when the time is right. The one who appears naive often turns out to be the most dangerous. The key is control. Do not actually be foolish, just appear that way when it serves you. When others feel superior, their guard drops. They become overconfident and careless, making it easier for you to lead them into traps. Remember, the rabbit that pretends to limp is the one that lures the wolf closer. Law 22. Used the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker than your enemy, fighting head-on usually leads to destruction. The wise move is not always resistance, but surrender. By surrendering temporarily, you preserve your strength, confuse your enemy, and wait for the right moment to rise again. History shows countless leaders who appeared defeated only to return stronger later. By yielding, they made the enemy overconfident, careless, or even merciful. Meanwhile, they secretly rebuilt their power. Surrender is not weakness, it is strategy. Think of it as bending like bamboo in a storm. The rigid tree breaks, but the flexible one survives. By appearing to accept defeat, you buy time. That time can be used to learn, to recover, and to strike when conditions favor you. Never let pride push you into battles you cannot win. Retreat, surrender if necessary, and turn weakness into the seed of future victory. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Power is strongest when it is focused. Spreading yourself too thin, chasing too many goals, or fighting too many battles at once weakens you. The wise understand the art of concentration, putting resources, energy, and effort into one decisive point where the impact will be the greatest. In war, generals focus their armies on the enemy's weakest spot. In business, companies dominate one product or market before expanding. In life, individuals who master one skill deeply often rise higher than those who know many things only half well. Scattered energy is wasted energy. Concentrated energy becomes unstoppable. Imagine the sun's rays, harmless when spread across the sky, but when focused through a magnifying glass, they ignite fire. Your power works the same way. Choose your battles carefully. Do not fight everywhere. Fight where it matters most. Focus your strength, and victory will follow. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. In every society, there are people who rise not by brute force, but by charm, diplomacy, and subtle influence. These are the courtiers, the ones who master the art of pleasing those above them while quietly advancing their own interests. The perfect courtier knows when to speak and when to remain silent, when to flatter and when to advise, when to act bold and when to appear humble. They never offend, never outshine the master, and always make others feel important. Yet behind this mask, they carefully build power for themselves. In modern times, the court is everywhere: your workplace, your social circles, even online spaces. The ability to navigate relationships, win favor, and avoid conflict is what makes the difference between those who rise and those who are forgotten. To master this law, practice tact, patience and adaptability. Become skilled in reading emotions, speaking with grace, and managing appearances. In a world where brute strength often fails, the perfect courtier always survives. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the identity that others give you. Do not be trapped by the past, your reputation, or the roles society has written for you. Power lies in transformation, the ability to reinvent yourself as often as necessary. History is full of figures who reshaped their image, generals who became kings, ordinary men who became legends, artists who constantly changed their style. By recreating yourself, you stay fresh, unpredictable, and impossible to control. Your identity should not be a prison. It should be a tool. Create an image that inspires respect, fear, or admiration, depending on what you need. And when that image grows old, shed it and build a new one. Never let others define who you are. Be the author of your own story, the sculptor of your own statue. Reinvention is power because it makes you untouchable by the past. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Powerful people understand that appearances matter as much as reality. When something goes wrong, they let others take the blame. When something goes right, they take the credit. The art is to stay above suspicion, to appear noble and pure, even when your hands are directing the dirt behind the scenes. This is why rulers often had ministers and business leaders have managers. The dirty work is done by others, while the leader's image remains untarnished. If a plan fails, blame falls on subordinates. If it succeeds, the leader shines as the visionary. You must learn to create distance between yourself and unpleasant actions. Use others as shields, as tools, and as scapegoats when necessary. Protect your reputation at all costs, because once it is stained, it is nearly impossible to wash clean. Remember, the powerful often act like saints in public while pulling strings in private. Do the same, and your image will remain untouchable. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Humans crave belief. They want meaning, hope, and something greater than themselves to follow. The most powerful individuals throughout history understood this and built cult-like followings by offering visions, rituals, and a sense of belonging. Religious leaders, political figures, and even modern influencers create loyal followers by giving people what they desire most: faith in something bigger. They make promises, offer symbols, and give people a sense of identity. In return, followers give them power, loyalty, and even sacrifice. The lesson? Tap into people's hunger for belief. Offer them hope, direction, or purpose. Speak with confidence. Provide rituals or repeated habits, and present yourself as the one who holds the answers. But be cautious. Belief is powerful, and it can turn dangerous. Use it wisely, not recklessly. A leader with blind followers has immense strength, but also immense responsibility. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is weakness. The world respects those who act with confidence, even when the outcome is uncertain. Boldness has a power of its own. It inspires followers, intimidates rivals, and creates momentum. When you enter a room, a project, or a battle, do it with energy and certainty. Half-hearted efforts convince no one, but bold moves, even risky ones, often succeed simply because they shock and overwhelm the opposition. History rewards the bold. Great conquerors, inventors, and leaders did not wait for permission. They stepped forward with confidence, and the world adjusted to them. This does not mean recklessness. Boldness is not blind, it is decisive. Study, prepare, and then act as if failure is impossible. Once you move boldly,
Others will follow your lead, and doors will open that would have remained closed to hesitation.